All right, boys and girls. So we have a question. Now, this is a video that I'm shooting for this young man, YouTuber. He just got his system. Name is ABU98. So hopefully this is going to help you. So he's running the easiest, simplest, most popular system, which is Salvaton. I forgot which number, but they're all the same. And he gets a code error 7, which in Sabaton code area 7 means over voltage, which could mean a lot of things. So for example, my bike, and I'm not running Sabaton, just a regular Chinese knockoff controller at 80 amps, I get error code 8, which is under voltage. So when my bike dies out, it shows code error 8, HSHOH 8. Anyway, so in regards to code number 7 and ABU98, hopefully this is going to help you out. Um, the So first you got to start with your battery. Check out your battery, see if any wires are exposed, any wires have dark coloration, meaning there was a short circuit. Make sure you're positive and you're negative. It's not burnt. Make sure that if there's any BMS wires exposed in your battery, then you definitely gotta address that issue. Again, I didn't ask you what battery you're running, but I did tell you to match your voltage. So, folks, if your system controller it's sometimes it comes preset, especially in Silverton. Silverton, you can change the voltage, 48, 60, 72, and 90, I believe 6. So you want to make sure that your controller matches the settings at your computer. So what I mean is that your computer, let's say hypothetically, is set to, let's say, 96, 72, or 48. In this case, it might be set at 60, and when your battery is fully charged, it shows 84. Therefore, it will show you code 7 because it's overvolting the system, overpowering the system, and the system won't really properly work. So that's first was the wires. Check your wires from the battery. If everything is okay, you inspect it, then move forward to your settings with your controller and your onboard computer. Make sure that if your battery is 72, it is operating at full charge 84, and make sure you control your Sabaton when you go to your software, your application on the laptop. Make sure it is also set at 72, which is maximum 84. If that doesn't fix it, then of course, a lot of times when your battery is charged lower, the bike will function normally. That's in rare cases or most cases, because my bike, if it goes below 68 volts, even though the system is 72, it shows me code error 8. But let's just say that we don't want to go that crazy. The next thing we want to do is check all the wires. Check the wires from the motor. Check the connections in all the wires. Your magnets in the motor, they have to all work together, be synchronized, because the controller, especially Sabaton, is very sensitive with the magnets. If you're using region, disconnect the region. Don't even connect the region. Just do the bare minimum. Sometimes when you don't have your brakes connected to Sabaton, meaning your sensors, the bike will not run. So you might have to plug in your brakes, your throttle, and your face motor. And I'm going to give you an example quick. What was I doing? I was doing my motor and the face wires one pin was pushed in, didn't go all the way in, was pushed in. So when I connected it, I was getting all sorts of crazy, not necessarily noise, but strange behavior of the motor, as if it was choking or wasn't really getting the signal it was supposed to get. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the signal, which in any bike would be green wire. So check your throttle cables, the phase cables to the motor. Check also your 3 wires in coming out from the motor. Make sure you plug everything. Well, make sure first you unplug everything, okay? And what I want you to do, force push every wire inside and hot glue it. It's going to prevent from the wires to move back and forth. Lots of times what happens is you push the wire inside and the pin that is inside the wire kind of meets with resistance of the other wire, copper wire, and the other, as you push, the pin will push or force itself out, and it looks like it's connected. It's not going nowhere, not moving, not disconnecting, unless you press the pin to release it, but yet there's no connection. So that will be the most important thing. Once you do that, hot glue it, and I'm not suggesting to put electric tape around the connectors because it's a pain in the ass to take it out. So hot gluing is the best thing. All the wires, even the double wires, the positive, negative, the screen wires, the throttle wire, everything. As a matter of fact, I suggest to everybody that I know they should actually solder the throttle wires, because what happens is, if, God forbid, the throttle wire stops working, the green wire, which is your signal wire, disconnects and no longer puts out 5 volts into a controller, all you have is a wide open throttle. That means that your bike is going to spin out at whatever top speed it goes. In my case, it's 66 miles an hour. So you don't want the bike to be spinning out 66 miles an hour, or your throttle disconnect while you're riding, and now you have no control over the bike. And how do I stop it? Because I'm doing full throttle. In my case, I can turn off with a switch and call it a day. Lots of guys have kill switch, whatever you want to do with that. But excuse me. So that's the whole thing. So it's easy. Check your batteries for any discoloration that shows evidence of short circuit. Your BMS wires, if they're visible, then disconnect all your wires, put it back together. Make sure you inspect them. Since it's a brand new system, you don't want to be hot gluing things and soldering and doing all kinds of things. See how that works. See how the switches behave when they click together. If they actually have connection. If you do click them, just push them also in, and that's why when the system works without a problem, hot glue it and call it a day. If you want bulletproof system, I would say solder all your wires regardless. I have soldered a few wires. I also had used bowl nuts with washers to, especially for my battery power and the motor connection wires, which are pretty much 8-gauge wires. I've used nuts and bolts with washers to keep them together. Also used Gorilla Black tape to secure them. And what did I do? And with my controller, I'm going to use a liquid electric tape, so it's waterproof. Where all the wires are coming out, all the cables are coming out, I'm going to use liquid electric tape. I've used silicone, didn't work. I've used hot glue, didn't work. So electric liquid tape, that's all you want to use on your bike. That's all is going to work. It's going to penetrate very nicely. It's going to water seal, especially if your Subaton, or in case my electric system is underneath the bike and the water goes right in and it's facing upwards. So when it's raining and slushy, it might get some drips here and there. The worst enemy for electric system is actually water. So you want to use that liquid electric tape. And let's say hypothetically right now you're sitting in front of the system works. Great, we fixed the problem. Now if the system doesn't work, um, I would not suggest to do anything, because there's two conclusions to code number 7. One is your magnets, your Hall sensors, okay, and two, if the cables are connected properly, everything is done by the book. That means you do have a problem with a motor, which does happen when they are hot glued, talking about the magnets, to the membrane of the brushless motor and the wires. Um, it does happen that it's gets dislodged for whatever reason. These are just human errors that gets overlooked. I'm hoping the best for you. I'm hoping that your system is going to work great. You should wake up tomorrow morning, watch this video, and do step by step. Again, check your battery wires for any discoloration of short circuit. Check your BMS wires if they are exposed, and then move over to your onboard computer. Make sure the voltage matches the controller settings. I would honestly go into my settings and I would do factory resets. Sometimes what happens is they do not do factory reset, and that's what happens. Firmware on the controller you can download it later and see how that's going to work together. But mostly I'm concerned about the voltage. But the best thing is to reset, hard reset, factory reset the system while everything is plugged in, and have it that way and see what happens. So voltage on the motor, I'm thinking, I'm hoping is the voltage is set the wrong way, and or the wires that are loose and they just been connected, but they are not properly touching and having electric current going through them. It's not a lot of electricity going through them. It's all signals, so it really shouldn't be an issue. So I would say give that a shot. Let me know. Comment down below how did you come out. And if you're using 72-volt battery, you might be set at 48 and it's saying over voltage. So if you change that, you don't really have to check nothing. So again, I would start from the battery, and then of course the onboard computer versus controller, synchronize it together. If that doesn't work, check out the cables. That doesn't work, reset everything. Okay, if I see any damages, like any discoloration, I would just reset the system regardless. But I would really do it at the end, because Sabaton is very well known for firmware on their software, and if you erase that, you might lose certain features, certain things, and it might cause a little hiccup. Then you might be forced to download a newer firmware version of Sabaton, and you don't know how old or how new the system is, if it was ever updated through the manufacturer or not. But do these steps. Once you do these steps, none of them work, I would definitely contact the seller, the producer in China, Alibaba. Most likely that's where you bought it, and have them take a look. And if it's not working, it's no big deal, because well, one big deal, you probably have to pay for shipping and handling, which is kind of a mess, but it's doable, and it'll just take you a longer time to get the perfect system, I guess. But that's like the worst scenario that you can look at. So I wish you good luck, and hopefully you keep me informed, and hopefully I'll help you in some sort of way. All right. Until then, be cool. Let me know what's up.